a microphone underneath. Yay! Hello. I've got the one in. Shabbat shalom, everybody. I love all the people who want to be at family services, people who remember to wear white. I also have to say, we picked a date based on what seemed to be somewhat convenient as far as when family might be able to come, even though you went on break starting today, right? But I have one of the longest yahrzeit lists that I have ever seen today. So I appreciate everybody who is braving the kids' service, and what you came here for was Kaddish. I appreciate that. Next time maybe we should take a peek at that before we schedule something like this. But a kid-friendly service, family service, means that we're going to do probably more singing than talking. I'm going to refer you to some pages for the singing. And we're going to do some songs that the kids like to sing at camp. So at camp on a Friday night, what the kids would always do is they walk to the dining hall and they gather outside their bunk all over camp, and they're all wearing white. And it can be t-shirts and shorts. It's okay. That's why I'm wearing my not-so-fancies maybe. It's as fancy as I got today to be all white. But the kids gather at their bunks, in front of their bunks, and there's a song leader or song leaders, depending on how big the camp is. The first camp that I worked at, there was only one song leader, and I just had to be very, very loud. I lived on chloroseptic a lot. But eventually camps got big enough that every unit had at least one or two song leaders, and there were tons of song leaders. And everybody's got the same list of songs that they're all going to sing together. That was the door? Oh, cool. We needed a spooky door for the play. I'll remember that. I got the one at the cemetery I got, but it sounded more like a jackhammer. That's how spooky it was. It was like, Arr! That was better. Anyway, and you'd start singing Shabbat songs as everybody walked together, and you watch this kind of sea of white gather together, and we get together at the dining hall. Everybody says motzi outside the dining hall. Well, actually, they don't. Not outside the dining hall on Shabbat. But most of the time, for the rest of the week, you always have to sit with your bunk. You've got your counselors and you've got your bunkmates. But on Shabbat, the staff is already in, and there's 2 staff people to every table, and then the kids get to go in and sit anywhere they want. They could sit with friends, they could sit with their family, they could sit, like if they're brothers and sisters at camp, they could sit anywhere they want, and they love that. And one of the first things that happens, and sometimes you start off by going all the way around the room, right? Isn't that what you did at Jacob's? Or no? Or the staff was all the way around the room? And they go by unit. And then you go into the dining hall. But so do you do this prayer first? So even before we do the candle blessing, we're going to do this prayer. Because Shabbat is one of the most special, magical things at camp. And one of the things that makes it not a time when you miss your parents very much is by the way that the staff comes and helps to bless you. So what happens is all of the staff blesses the kids with this song. May the Lord protect and defend you. wait, we have to change a word. We have to say, be like Ruth and like David, because we got guys and girls here. So let's try that again. Remember in Fiddler, there was only one, there were no boys. May you be like Ruth and like David. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen us, O Lord, and keep us from the stranger's ways. La, 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 la. May God bless you and grant you long life. Thank you, we got a guy here. May God keep you and shield you from strife. Care for you. May the Lord protect and may the Lord protect and may God always shield you from, may God always shield you. Favor us, O with happiness, oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Amen. Pretty ending. May the Lord protect and defend you. Hit those notes. Amen. I'm not going to hit that note. So we start that, and then everybody gets to sit where they need to sit. And the next thing that will happen is certain staff will be called up to say the blessings at the table. And everybody gets kind of a thimbleful of wine. And we have candles at the table and candles at the front. So we're going to call up our counselors for the day. It's not counselors. Sharon and Elliot Goldman, please come up and help us. Take a deep breath, everybody. Let it out. One more time. Let it out and stand up. Pretend you're standing outside, standing at your table. And we need to make sure that this is on so that we can hear you. And, all right, so first, we are actually turning to what page did I tell you?
65.
Page 65, please.
As these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvoto v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You hallow us with your mitzvot and command us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Amen.
Let there be joy.
Let there be light.
Let there be peace.
Let there be Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. We turn to page 167 and 166 for the Kiddush, the sanctification of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam borei pari agafen.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe, creator of the fruit of the vine.
Amen.
We praise you, eternal God, sovereign of the universe. You call us to holiness with the mitzvah of Shabbat, the sign of your love, a reminder of your creative work, and of our liberation from Egyptian bondage, our day of days. On Shabbat especially, we hearken to your call to serve you as a holy people. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat.
Amen. L'chaim. You get a thimbleful of grape juice. You may be seated, but you have to say Shabbat Shalom to somebody that you came in with. Somebody that you didn't come in with? Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom back there. Thank you. And I want you to, turn your sheets over to the other side. As we're thinking about the light that Shabbat brings, we think about how light is sown, which means planted, for the righteous, and joy for the upright in heart. Anybody know this one? You know this one? Come on up and help me sing this. You know it? Anybody else know it? Here, let's move this out of your way. Whoop. One more time.
Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq.
Wait, don't you usually clap when you sing this song?
Yes.
So we clap in a different way on Shabbat. Normally we clap like this, but on Shabbat we clap like this to show it's a different day. So the song is supposed to say, Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Wait, you're going to have to, are you going to be able to do that? And come here, I'll tell you what, I'm going to need you with this microphone, I think. Come here, come on up on the bima. Come up so everybody can see this. You're not going to believe this. All right, ready? That's going to go here. And you're going to sing Or Zarua, and you're going to follow her hand motions, and let's see if you can do this, because this is complicated. Ready? I'm going to take this down so you can see. Ready? We're going to remember when you hear, that's going to be your cue.
Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha.
One more time. Here it comes.
Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua, Lat Sadiq, Ul Yishrei Lev Simcha.
Nice. Very nice. Good job. I'll save this in case we need you for another song, okay? Aren't you glad we send these kids to camp? I am. That's really fun. So then we continue at the bottom of page 85 with the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'hitkadash shmei Rabbah Be'alma divrach chirutev yamlich malchutev B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chaedecha Beit Yisrael Ba'agala uvizman kariv v'miru amen Yeheshme Rabba mevarach le'alam ol me'almaya Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpahar v'yitromam v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemeh dekudesha brichu le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damihiran be'alma v'miru amen. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. ברכו את אדוני המבורך. The next thing we think about is the magnificence of the creation. In the evening, when we think about creation, what do we think about? What? The moon and the stars? That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Anything else? The void. Ooh, that's a deep answer. I like that answer. Did you see that tonight coming in? Anybody see moon or stars coming in? You did. We're finally at a time where we can see nighttime in the nighttime service. So we think about how God created, we think about God. We think about how God created those awesome things. From the void to the lights in the sky, we think about how God, and I love this word in Hebrew, it says, Ma'ariv, Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ariv aravim, that God makes the evening be evening. And then we continue on page 87, at the bottom of the page, we read together, when justice burns within us like a flaming fire, when love evokes willing sacrifice from us, when to the last full measure of selfless devotion, we demonstrate our belief in the ultimate triumph of truth and righteousness, then your goodness enters our lives and we can begin to change the world. And then you live within our hearts, and we, through righteousness, behold your presence. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated. We read together at the bottom of page 88. You shall love your eternal God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your being. Set these words, which I command you this day, upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be symbols before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. So shall you consecrate yourselves to your God. I am your eternal God who led you out of Egypt to be your eternal. I am your eternal God. Did anybody do a mitzvah today? What did you do that was a mitzvah today? And she didn't get paid for that. She worked from 7 until 12:30 and she didn't get paid, and she was just helping people. Do you think helping people is a mitzvah? I do. And I'm very glad you do that. Anybody else do another mitzvah? Oh my goodness, she's done it 24 years. Mr. Bill? Mr. Bill did not murder anybody today, and that's a mitzvah. Anybody else do negative commandments today? Anybody else didn't murder anybody today? I think that's a good sign. I like this. See, I think we're accomplishing an awful lot. Did anybody pray for peace in the world today? I did. Did anybody pray that someone else who is not feeling well get better? I did. I like, one of my favorite mitzvot these days is the one where it says, be holy, because God is holy. That's one of my favorite mitzvot. And it's a hard thing to do, but but by not killing anybody and by helping other people and by praying for other people and taking care of each other. I think those are many, many ways that we get to be holy. We continue on page 91 because at this point we talk about these interesting things that happen that we know are true in the world. We talk about what God does that's true in our world. And so in the middle of thinking about true in our world, we have this awesome story, which some people think couldn't possibly be true. And that is that the children of Israel were standing in front of the sea. Here we are. And the sea was, I liked it better when it was blue carpet. I'm sorry, we got to change back again. It worked better for my story. And we were standing in front of the Sea of Reeds. And it was so big, we couldn't see the other side of it. And we said, how are we going to get across? And somebody said, we're not. We're just going to stay here. We'll walk around it. And somebody said, well, okay, we'll just walk around it. But you know what? It was too big. You could have walked around maybe. It would have taken forever. But behind us, we started to see the soldiers that we thought were not going to come after us. We started to see the dust from them and their horses, and they're running after us. And all of a sudden, we're saying, yikes, how are we going to get across? What are we going to do? What should we do? Build a bridge? No, we can't build a bridge. How are we going to get across? And so what happened? The people cried to Moses and said, Moses, how are we going to get across? Why did you take us out of slavery just to get drowned in the sea or killed by those soldiers? And Moses said, don't worry, I got this. God, why did you take us out of slavery just to get killed by the people or go drown in the sea? And God said, take your staff, and I want you to take that staff and I want you to put it over the waters and I will save you. And Moses said, I got it. And so he took his staff and he put it over the waters, and what happened? Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. And Moses looks up at God and said, oh, come on, you told me you had this. And he does it again. God said, God will save you. And he puts the staff over again, and nothing happened. Well, so one guy who was listening, they tell us his name was Nachshon. Cole, would you come up and help me be Nachshon, please, since you know the story? Come on up, dude. So Nachshon was listening to the story. Now, Nachshon was a slave, and the people had been slaves for 400 years. They didn't have spar. They didn't get to go swimming. They didn't know how to do these things. And so, but Nachshon was thinking, let me see what you think. And Nachshon was thinking to himself, wait a second, he heard that God said, put your staff over the waters and I will save you. So Moses did his part. Now God is going to do God's part. So what did he do? He walked in a little bit. Go ahead, walk into the water. And he got up to his knees. And did the waters part? Nope, nothing happened. But he said God will save him. So he walked in even more. And how deep is it now? It's all the way up to his chest already. And did God save him? Nothing happened. He keeps walking. Another step. How far is it now? All the way up to the bottom of his chin. And he said, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Who is like you among the gods that are worshipped? He was showing God that he believed. God said God would save him. So, and then what did he do? He took another step until the water was past where his nose and his mouth were, which means he was about to drown. And he said again, instead of saying mi chamocha, he said mi chamocha, because there was water in his mouth. He says, mi chamocha, who is like you? And as soon as he got to the point where the water was covering his mouth, show me. Whoosh, the waters parted, and they got to walk across on, oh, here comes the brown stuff. I like the brown stuff. The waters got across. We walked across on dry land. Would somebody please follow him? Because we got to walk across on dry land. Come on, walk across with him. Thank you. Get up and follow him. He's got to go across. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot osef eleh, nora tehilot osef eleh, malechutecha rahu vanecha bokeh hayam lifnei Moshe zehilianu ve'ameru Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. And we were so happy we got across, and we danced. Everybody was dancing. And they were dancing all the way back to their seats. And everybody saw the dancing, and they stood up because they were very ready at this point to praise God. They made their way all the way across. Oh, wait, no, you can sit down. Sit down. That's the way the story goes. In the morning, we get to stand up right away. But in the evening, we remember that it's evening. And we say this prayer in the book. The prayer is at the top of 91. But the prayer says this: God, sometimes when it gets dark at night, it makes me nervous. I can't see what's outside the window. It's too dark out there. And sometimes when I go to sleep at night, it makes me nervous. I don't know what that noise was. That just sounded like it was coming from my closet. In the daytime, noises don't bother me so much, but sometimes at night, the noises bother me. And God says, shh, don't worry, I got you covered. Because at night, I take like a special sukkah and I put it over the whole world. It's a sukkah of peace. And I've got you covered. Don't worry about it. Because that noise that you heard in the closet, it was nothing. It was really no big deal. Remember when you put your shoes in and you just kicked them into your closet? Well, one of them was kind of teetering and teetering and teetering. And when you got into bed, it shook it, and that's what fell down. I got it. I got you covered. Don't worry. And then we're thankful. We're ready to rest. So we sing a song about Shabbat. The song we're going to sing is this one. Bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum, cheery beery beery. Wait a second. If you come for Tat Shabbat, this is not just a song. We have a Tat Shabbat march. Anybody want to march with me for the Tat Shabbat march? Let's try this. Bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum, cheery beery beery bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum. Get ready. Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat shalom, hey Shabbat 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 shalom, bim bam, bim 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 bam. Bim, 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 bum. Cheery, beery, beery, bim. Bum, bim, 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 bum. Bim, 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 bum. Back to your chairs. And let's take a nap. Except it's not time for taking a nap. It's time to stand up. Yeah, I know. We weren't planning this very well, were we? We're on page 93. If we were at camp, we would do this in Hebrew. I think we could do this in Hebrew. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Open my lips, my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur V'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Lifnei V'nehem, L'ma'an Shemo B'Ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. We praise you, Adonai. I need somebody at the microphone. Who's going to be at the microphone? Come on, people, come up. I need people. I don't care who. Come on. Anybody who wants to be the voice. Come on, come on, come on. Come on, Mary Beth. Thank you. Come on, be my microphone. Just Mary Beth, nobody else? You know this one. Come on, come on. Please. please. We're standing for a long time. Come on up. You want to come? Come on. Come on. You know this one. We praise you.
We praise you,
Adonai our God.
Adonai our God,
God of Abraham.
God of Abraham,
God of Isaac.
God of Isaac,
God of Jacob.
God of Jacob,
God of all generations. To uphold the falling, to heal the sick, to free the captive, to comfort all who suffer pain, to uphold the falling, to heal the sick, to free the captive, to comfort all who suffer pain. We praise you,
we praise you,
Adonai our God, God of Sarah,
God of Sarah,
God of Rebecca, God of Leah, God of Rachel, God of all generations. Blessed is Adonai, shield of Abraham. Blessed is Adonai, creator of life. Blessed is Adonai, shield of Abraham. Blessed is Adonai, creator of life. We praise you, Adonai our God,
Adonai our God,
God of Abraham,
God of Abraham,
God of Isaac,
God of Isaac,
God of Jacob, God of all generations, God of all generations. Do it jazzy, big finish. God of all generations. That was jazzy hands, that was good. Everybody may be seated. That was good. That was very good. I have a story, but I need your help with the story. Some of you have heard me tell this story. I love this story a lot. I heard this story from Rabbi Bernie Zlotowitz. I just found out that he passed away this summer, and I didn't know that. So this is in memory of Rabbi Bernie Zlotowitz, who told me this story a long, long time ago at a conclave that I was doing at Kutz. And he tells the story about a guy who had to go from this end of the desert to that end of the desert. How do you think he got there? What? You think he walked? It was way too far for him to go by foot. What else did he do? What else could he have done? What? A camel? How many people think a camel would be a good idea to take in the desert? Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Good call. I think he took a camel. Do you think it's a comfortable thing to ride on a camel? What do you think it would feel like if you're riding on a camel? Bumpy like this, bumpy. So let's see you ride on your camel, bumpy like this and bumpy like that, and everybody was bumping. And he's riding, and he couldn't see the town he was coming from at all. And he couldn't see the town he was going to yet. He must be someplace in the middle right now. And there was nobody as far around as he could see. And he's bumping, and he's bumping. He's getting a little bit of headache, but he's bumping, and he's bumping. And all of a sudden, when there's nobody around, he heard a voice. And the voice said, "Get off your camel." What? Do you see anybody? I don't see anybody. So he keeps going. He's looking around kind of cautiously, and guess what? He hears the voice again, and it said, "Get off your camel." Well, since it was still saying it, he decided he was going to get off his camel. And then the voice said, "Bend down and take some of the sand that you see below your feet." He picks up his feet and he digs down. Can you get some sand for me, please? Everybody pick up some sand. Picks up some sand. I want you to fill up your hand with sand. I want you to hold on to that sand until you get to your destination. And when you get to the destination, you're going to be the happiest person and the saddest person. What? How could you be the happiest person and the saddest person? What does that mean? And why is this sand going to help me be happy or sad? I don't get it. He said, "What are you talking about?" And the voice said, just do it. Well, he did. So, all right, your hand's still full with sand? What are you going to do? How are you going to get back on that camel if your hands are full of sand? He's trying. Uh-oh, guess what happens when he tried to get up on the camel? Some of the sand is falling out, so he's got less sand now than he had before. Can I pick up sand again? No, get on the camel. Okay. He climbs on the camel, and he gets back on the camel, and he's going again. Let me see you go again. So he's going again, and every time he bumped, more sand was coming out. And he's trying to hold on to the reins and hold on to the sand, but every time he bumped, some more sand fell out. And he kept going. He almost fell asleep. That would have been bad because his hand almost opened up because it was a long, 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 long ride all the way to the town. But finally, just as the sun was coming up, he was really tired. And his hands were getting really tired. And his tushy was getting very sore. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it was true, right? Have you been bouncing and bouncing? I'm just telling you. And he got there, and the voice said, get off the camel. Can I open my hands? No. Okay. He tries to get off the camel. Guess what? More sand fell out. And he's off the camel, and the camel was happy that he was off, and the camel went, because camels do that all the time. He got kind of wet. And then the voice said, open your hands. And guess what was in his hands? There was something in there. It wasn't bread, and it wasn't gold. Bless you. And it wasn't gold. And it wasn't sand. He opened his eyes and he was shocked because it wasn't sand and it wasn't nothing. Guess what it was? Sparkly jewels. All kinds of sparkly jewels were in his hand. All of the sand had turned into sparkly, precious jewels. Diamonds and rubies and garnets. What kind of precious stone can you imagine? Emeralds, sapphires, opals. Oh my gosh, his hand was filled. And the voice said, all of the sand that you held turned into the gems that you have, and those are yours to keep. So guess what? No. You have a sad story there. Oh, good. Okay, she said, all right, that's a very good point. I'm sorry, I made her walk into that. She's right. She said, he got robbed. And the reason why she thought he got robbed was because I said, she remembered this part. I wasn't sure anybody would remember. At the end of your ride, you were going to be the happiest person in the world and the saddest person in the world. Well, does anybody understand why he was the happiest person in the world? He had a handful of jewels. He couldn't imagine anybody so rich in his whole life before. So he was the happiest person in the world. And no, he didn't get robbed. Why was he sad? Because over the ride, he lost a lot of sand. Just imagine. He was imagining how, yeah, see, I gotcha. He was imagining how much more jewels he could have had in his hands, because by the end, his hands had gotten smaller and smaller, and the sand was pouring out, and he fell asleep for part of it. Now, we have a holiday coming up this week, in less than a week. What holiday is that? Thanksgiving. Can you think of something that reminds you of jewels? That's very precious to you, that when you open up and you look at them, you see jewels and you wish you had more. What would it be? Your children, good answer. And your family, good answer. Your mom doesn't want more. She had 4 kids, that was enough. Good answer. Time, maybe. I think time with your family. Time with your kids, time with your parents, time with your family. We just pointed out that this list is one of the longest Yortzeit lists I have seen all year. Time with our family is just like the sand in our hands when we're riding on the camel. Because we don't always appreciate what we have in our hands. We don't always appreciate the time we have. And we open it up and we realize how precious our time is. And we wished we had taken advantage of more time with the people we love. That's a good answer. So we say we're thankful. Anybody here going to be with your family for Thanksgiving? Anybody not going to be with family? Because if you're not, then we've got a place for you then. This is good. We'll find a place for you. You could be part of our family. You see? You're part of our family. So I like that story. That's one of my favorites. Thank you, Rabbi Zlotowitz, for that story. All right, so now I'm going to talk. I'm going to make you the happiest people in the world and the saddest people in the world, because I'm going to talk very, very fast. I'm going to get through the announcements as fast as I can. I'm supposed to say Shabbat Shalom, y'all. Thank you to Elliot and to Sharon Goldman for being our Shabbat counselors today, our Shabbat blessers. If you haven't gotten your proxy votes in, it's okay. We would still appreciate it, because we kind of want to make sure that we know we've got a quorum of votes by the time the meeting happens on the 11th. But if you're planning to come, then you get to vote anyway. So we're close. But if you haven't done it yet, there's still time to do that. The gift shop, I want you to look. We've turned the light on. Mrs. Lorraine Soffer has been working in the gift shop. She used to work at the one at the Meadows Museum and at Centenary. And she has done an incredible job. I don't want anybody to faint, but there isn't anything in that store that doesn't have a price on it. So, and this stuff is beautiful stuff. We just got stocked with Hanukkah things and other things. So please come during the week if you want. And then when we get back to school on Sunday, she'll be there to sell stuff. And that'll be the morning, and that evening will be Hanukkah will start. This Monday night, Hadassah invites you to hear Tom Arsenault speak at Agudath Achim at 7 p.m. He is going to speak about his recent AIPAC trip to Israel. He is one of the Christian representatives in our region to AIPAC. He's a really good speaker. I hope that you come. Refreshments are going to be served. There's a $5 service fee, which will be donation to Hadassah Israel projects. Next Friday, you notice Rabbi Shafa is not here today. We apologize for that. She had another engagement that wound up taking her too long for this trip, but she's coming in this week. And she is going to be here for Friday night. She's going to sing some songs with us on Friday and give us an introduction to the workshop that she's going to be doing on Sunday at 4. I hope to see a lot of you, and please bring your friends. We went to a lot of trouble to get her here and to do this for us, so please try to bring people. Hanukkah starts in 2 weeks from Sunday. 2 weeks from Sunday. Hope you're ready. Yeah, 2 weeks. So there's lots of things happening. The most awesome things that are happening so far, you'll see more in your bulletin. Billy Jonas concert Monday night. My favorite performer for concerts. He entertains people of every age. I hope you come to see it. By of every age, I mean however old you are when you come to his concert, you will love his concert. It doesn't matter how old or young you are when you come, you will love his concerts. He involves people. He's fun. He's intelligent. He does some Jewish stuff now too, and you will be very sad if you miss it. That's Monday night on December 7th. Agudath Achim is providing dinner before that at 6 o'clock, $5 a person if you're 14 or over, free if you're under that. And at 5:45, we're lighting Hanukkah menorahs. I want to let you know that it is not that everybody brings their own menorah. I clarified that. So there's going to be, believe it or not, 2 Chanukiot, one the B'nai Zion Chanukia and one the Agudath Achim Chanukia, and we'll light for everybody, and we'll celebrate together the second night of Hanukkah. On the last day of Hanukkah, at Agudath Achim again, who's in the play? Anybody here in the play? Raise your hands if you're in the play. We have a bunch of people in the play. You see that there's a flyer outside about it. It's Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblin story. And they've been practicing and practicing and practicing. It's going to be awesome. They've got props and everything. It's like a real play. And I think you're going to love it. So that's at 3 o'clock on the last day of Hanukkah on Sunday the 13th. So please come to that. And we're going to all the nursing homes again, the retirement facilities. We're having parties all week long. You are supposed to come to those. Help us sing. Help us play dreidels with the people in the nursing facilities, and not the retirement facilities. There are details in the bulletin about where we're going and when. Donations were made to B'nai Zion for pulpit flowers in loving memory of Joseph Goldman by Sharon and Elliot Goldman and family, in loving memory of Harold Kaplan by Dot Kaplan, in loving memory of Nathan Murov by his family, in loving memory of Ann Simon by Bobby Goodman and family, in loving memory of Mary Toys by Goldie Morris and Sharon and Elliot Goldman, in loving memory of Arthur Henry Werner by Margaret Rifkin, and in loving memory of my grandma, Pearl Weiner, by Sheila Lawrence. I would like to invite everybody who's under 13 to please come up to the bima and open up the ark for me. For the Elenu, everybody else turn to page 148, please. Come on up. Let's do this. Ready? Rise as the ark is open. Go. You guys going to sing loud enough for them to hear you? Come on up. You got your kippah? Yeah. Ready? Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol la'teit gedula liotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama shelo sam chalkenu kahem vigor aleinu kichol hamonam. Everybody bend your knees. Va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim Lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. And we're going to say, V'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. What happens when you drop the Torah? We all have to fast for 40 days. That's bad. That's very bad. All right, everybody show everybody your Torah. Show everybody your Torah, please. All right, let's put our Torahs back. Let's put them back in the ark. You'll notice we still have the other Torah in our ark. That's because we haven't totally fixed all of the holes, and we weren't thinking it was going to be very, very safe. We've got lots of leaks in the roof still. Thank you. We got one more Torah. You want to put it away, or you want to take it back to your seat? Good. Thank you. Nah. All right. Good job. Come on out. We'll close the ark. Careful. Good job. Thank you. When the ark is closed, you may be seated. You want to help close? Thank you, guys. You want to help close? Come on in. You want to do it? You want to help close? Push, push, push. Nice and slow. You may be seated. Thank you. You staying up here? You want to come down with Mom? Thank you. Yeah, he's got his kippah. I love that. I really love that. I am sad to report, I'm pleased to report, and blessed to report that we had no military casualties. I am apologetic about what happened last week, that I was not aware of what had happened in Paris, and I appreciate everyone who was trying to help us pray for everyone, the whole country, the whole world. We had no military casualties in America this week, but we had 3 law enforcement casualties. Police officer Ricky Galvez was shot and killed from an ambush while he sat in his vehicle in the Downey Police Department's parking lot. He was 29. He served in the Downey Police Department, California, for 5 years. Corporal William Solomon served in the Georgia Ports Authority Police Department in Georgia. He served for 2 years. Trooper Jamie Jersevics, she was 33. She served in the Colorado State Patrol in Colorado for almost 5 years. I stopped giving details. Sorry, I gave one. If you need more details, they're here, but I didn't think it was necessary for us to say all of those out loud. At this time in our service, we turn to page 150. I also have, sorry, there was something I was supposed to tell you. If you come to the Billy Jonas thing, there's a poster outside, and I've got one here too. We're doing a tzedakah. The 6th and 7th grade classes are doing a tzedakah project. They're trying to help Providence House. Providence House needs help all the time, but it's especially hard on them in the holidays. We're only looking for things like household paper goods and feminine hygiene products and baby diapers and pull-ups and wipes and food and formula, cleaning supplies, toiletries, office supplies. You can bring them to B'nai Zion, you can bring them to Agudath Achim, you can bring them the day and the evening of Billy Jonas, and the 6th and 7th grade will take care of making sure they get to Providence House. We really appreciate that. And be on the lookout for that same class is doing another project as well, but for now, we need to tell you about that. On page 151, our thoughts turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, let us meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. I invite you to please take a moment of silence as we remember. However brief may be our time on earth, O God, you endow our fleeting days with abiding worth. We now recall the loved ones whom death has taken from us these past 30 days. We remember Sidney Lazard and Bob Schendel and Morris Sommer. And Christina Haas's father passed away this week, too. I don't think they've had the funeral yet. As we remember those who died at this season in years past, before we mention those, I also want to remind you of the people who are in our congregation who lost their parents this year. It includes Debbie Davis and Mimi Hussey, Dr. Sidney Solomon Sletsky, and Dr. Don Rosen. And those for whom we're observing Yortzites this week include Sam Abramson, Louis E. Baer, Sidney E. Blumenthal, Morris Chernick, Saul Cruvant, Marguerite Dupree, Hyman Gardspain, Joseph Goldman, Sam Goldstein, Jacob Greenberg, Max M. Hermer, Annette Phillips Hirsch, Harold Kaplan, Alfred Kent, John Lerner, Betty Ken Alkus Levy, Raymond Morris, Chaim Murov, Nathan Murov, Dorothy O. Muslow, James Muslow, Norman Schnorr, Ann Simon, May Stein, Reba Strauss, Bobby O. Sussman, Mary Toys, Arthur Henry Werner, Samuel Willer, and Pearl Weiner. In this moment of memory, our griefs and sympathies are mingled. Loving God, we rise as together we praise your name. The Mourner's Kaddish is found on page 154. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehe shemei Rabbah mevarach la'alam olamei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha v'richu la'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. Would you come help me get the challah? Yeah. Thank you. I need everybody who is under the age of 13 to come back again. Come on. Let's come over. Let's come back up here. La Briut. I heard a sneeze. Say La Briut. Come on up. Ready? Let's pull this microphone around into the middle. Sorry, smoosh you. Crash. So that everybody can hold on to the bottom of, the bottom of this. Everybody holding on to the bottom? Come on, get inside. Come here, Steve. Hold on to the bottom. Wait, we have littler ones that need to get back in. Come here. Come in. Come in. Come in. Come in. Come sneak in. Go in. Watch. They made you space. Go ahead in. Good job. She's taking her brother in. I love this. All right, let me hear you singing. Hamotzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. I'm going to hold on to the tray. Everybody make sure you take some. Make sure everybody gets some. Make sure everybody gets some. I got the tray. Let go. Wait, make sure the little ones get, especially. I got the tray. Wait. We're missing. Come here. Oh, you got. She didn't get. Yay. Could you believe? We'll crash. Did you get? Wait, one more piece. Yay. Nice. Come on. You got a giant piece. There's more for grown-ups out there, in case you're wondering. Please rise for the closing benediction. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you. May God protect you. Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May the light of God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's face, come here, always be lifted up to you, and may God grant you peace. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Let's see if we could do a bim bam march out of here. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, cheery beery beery bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam.